lots of ornaments. This month's Flutecast is about a set of ornaments that involve fancy fingering, quick movements with your fingers that all begin from a very simple concept called the grace note. So this Flutecast and the next Flutecast go together. This time we'll look at just the grace notes and a simple variation on them. And next Flutecast we'll look at a little bit more complicated version of that. And all the complex ornaments that are built up come off these simple grace notes and their variants. If you'd like to check these out on Flutopedia, you can go to flutopedia.com, go up across the top and go to Playing the header, click on that, and go to Intermediate Topics and come across and click on the Ornaments. And that'll take you to the Ornaments page, and that has a whole roster of ornaments, all the ornaments I can think of, and each one of them has a playing example. So let's start with the concept of a target note or a main note. And that's going to be this middle finger position. And I'm going to come up to it with several lead-in notes. It's going to sound like this. And that last note is my target note or my main note. And our goal is to put an ornament before that, a grace note, a single note that leads in to that main note, that target note, and is very, very short. If you put it on staff notation, it's notated like a little note with a strike through it, and it doesn't even have any time value. It's so short. Sounds like this. A little tick, a very short note where I pick up this finger and bring it back down. Doing it very slowly, it sounds like this. Doing it in a different place. It's a single note, a grace note, just before the main note. Give that a try if you want to pause the video and give that a try. And that's the basis of all these ornaments. Instead of a single grace note, we're going to do two grace notes before that main note, before that target note. It sounds like this. Notice I had two notes leading into the main note. Very slowly, sounds like this. And it's always good to do these in the opposite direction and practice it on every target note, so it might sound like this. Single grace note might be two grace notes. Two grace notes is called a mordent. If it's, that's an upper mordent. If it's, that's a lower mordent. Well, now you know the names of them, if that's important to you. Okay? And you can even use them at the beginning of your melody. Notice the little grace note just before the end. That's the message for this Flutecast. Have some fun with this. First, practice these grace notes in every position. Practice two grace notes, mordents in every position. Do it for a couple of minutes, for a couple of days, each day for a couple of minutes, and then forget about them, and all of a sudden they'll start popping up in your melodies. We love to get these into, especially in recording sessions. At some of our workshops, we have recording studios where you can actually record these, and you'll hear, when you listen back to your own recordings, once you start adding these grace notes, one or two grace notes and mordents, it really dresses up your melody. Instead of a basic, simple melody, now you're going to have a little bit of interest added to the melody. Long tones is the home of this instrument, so you can play these long tones beautifully and then just add an occasional ornament where you want to add a little bit of interest. So as always, we hope you can join us at a workshop. Oops, I used an ornament there by accident. Once you start doing these, you can't help but using them, right?